your mouth. Let me see if there we go. So take a deep breath in from the earth and down from heaven. And separate anything that may be coming up for you in the past. So to the right, if we look at it energetically, to the right is past energy, and to the left is future energy. Thanks, Karen, for joining. So we're releasing everything in the past right now. Any feelings of guilt or I should have done anything, just let them all go. Let your day go. Okay, now take a deep breath up from the earth again and down from heaven, putting you in your column of light. Hi and welcome. Hi from New York. Thanks for joining. Put that in your heart center. Release anything that might be coming up for you in the future. So this is any worry, any fear, and that's to the left of you energetically. Sometimes when you're in a bad place, what I like to do is I just take, if I'm noticing I'm in a disarray in this space, I'll just take a step over to the left. And recognizing that energy can shift even just by taking a step over to the left. Thanks for joining. Okay, third breath. Everybody take a deep breath up from the earth, down from heaven. Tammy, thanks for joining. Tammy's my twin. Okay, put that in your heart center. And come to the complete present moment. Thanks, Stacy, for joining. Fingertips together, tongue on the roof of your mouth. And if you use essential oils, now's a good time to put one on. I'm using Balance. I like doTERRA, but you can use whatever works for you, but it's an earthy oil. And take a deep breath. Aromatherapy is really powerful for assisting you. So if you have an oil, use it. And if you have some dirt, take some dirt and use it. And take a deep breath in and get yourself grounded in the present moment. Okay, today is a unique day, and every week we do this Lunch with Sandra, and just take some time to participate, and everybody that's like-minded energy. We're looking for people to come together that are looking how to change their lives, people who are looking how to promote healing and wellness on the planet. And today's topic came as a result of the shooting last night. And, you know, what's going on the planet in general, and being aware, thanks Jay for joining, being aware that you make a difference. First of all, let's start there. Yes, I am live on Facebook on Awaken Within, so I'm on Periscope and Facebook. Okay, so let's define what the problem is, first of all. When you know what the problem is, then you're able to find a solution. It's difficult when you're trying to work on something in your life and you can't define the problem, or you don't know what that problem is. Thanks, Shannon, for joining. So let's define what the problem is, first of all. If we go back to the basics, that we are all vibrations of an energy. If we just look at that, take out the good, bad, right, and wrong from it, and we just look at that it's all energy, and we can rate it based on a lower vibration or a higher frequency. And your frequency is affecting other people, absolutely, and other people's frequency is affecting you. So being aware that right now you make a difference. Thanks, Emily, for joining us. I'm so grateful for all of you for joining, because the light workers that are on our live video here assist us in creating wellness across the planet. And if you don't consider yourself to be a light worker, then at least consider yourself to really play an impact on the planet. And as you get present in this moment and can learn to shift your vibrational frequency, it affects the rest of the world. So that's what today's video is about, is how can I create peace on the planet? How can I contribute? And how can I feel more peace within me? Because it does begin with you. And whatever you are vibrating out here is based on what you're thinking and feeling in here. So you'll see that I have my Good Vibes necklace on today, which is really fun. And that's what today's topic is all about, how to get those good vibes so that you can feel more peace, because you can't control what's going on out here, but you can control what's going on in here. And some of you may not feel like you can control anything, but absolutely you are the manager of what you think and what you feel. And as you learn how to get on board with what you think and feel, you learn how to intentionally create what you think and feel. So if we go back to what the problem is, and last night's shooting in Las Vegas is actually a collective consciousness or a vibrational frequency of fear and angst that's just coming together and playing out on the planet. So how do we counteract that? Certainly not participating with fear and worry. It's moving into how to promote more love, kindness, and compassion. And that begins with how you view yourself and then how you view the external world. And if you see the external world and external people as dangerous, then that does affect your frequency, and it creates a lot of fear moving inside of you that will lower your frequency or make it more dense. So if we look at what the problem is, then it can be pretty simple. If we go back to the basics, who we are is love, and we were created to play on the planet in duality and opposition and dense energy so that we could rediscover that. It's kind of like the banana analogy that I use. That if you take an exquisite banana and you look at its perfect ripeness, it might have a couple of brown marks on it. And peeling that banana, you can have a really great, exquisite piece of fruit inside. And so that's what we're doing today, is we're peeling our banana. We're peeling all the beliefs that say that I'm not love. And it's kind of like whether you believe you're a banana or not, you're a banana. So it's not whether or not you're love, it's how do you release the blocks that say, I am not love. And what happens with all the media and the news and everything promoting the fear, it creates a collective consciousness of more fear. So what I want to do is help create this collective consciousness of love so that we can counter the fear. Whatever you give attention and energy to is what's going to grow. So how often do you spend time thinking about what you do want compared to how often do you spend thinking about what you don't want? And taking an inventory of your thoughts can be challenging to do because thoughts move so rapidly. But being aware of how you feel is the key to doing this. And I have a technique I use called Meditate on the Go. And I use it throughout my day, and it's certain points in the day trigger me to look within and notice how I'm feeling. And I do this every time I get in my car. I do it every time I go to the bathroom. How am I feeling right now emotionally? And I do it every time I eat. Check in with yourself, because these are habits you're doing anyway. How am I feeling right now? And see if you can choose up on the scale. I'll post a scale of the emotional scale so you can see, because you can't control anything, like we said, out here. You can only control what's going on in here. So being aware that I can control my emotions. Everybody first, that's a great statement to tell yourself. And I like to use the word manage. I can manage my emotions. So everybody together, take a deep breath. I can manage my own emotions. As you learn to manage your own emotions, you then pull back the power that you're giving other people to make you feel sad, depressed, angst, worried, fearful, and even the media, the news, and whatever else is going on. So the first step is to own how you think and feel 100%. Nobody can make you think and feel any way without you giving them permission. Being aware that you at all times are creating this and this. And of course, if you're having a hard time owning 100% how you think and feel, then do some little exercises to claim your power. Go to your solar plexus. That's where your power center is. Unplug from other people that might be causing fear. Plug into your own column of light. Unplug them from your solar plexus. Plug them into their own column of light. Release people that are sucking energy from you. Release, even the news and media can be sucking your energy if you become consumed with the worry and the angst about it. Anybody that you're thinking about that you may be consumed with your thoughts about that person, notice, are those loving thoughts? Are they worried thoughts? Are they I'm not good enough thoughts? Unplug from those people. They're not serving you. And then plug into your own column of light. And then I like to do the breathing in heaven and earth, which is on another video, but that's just separating those past and future energies so that you can be in the present moment. So going back to what is the problem is that you forgot your love. The problem, the challenge that we have is when you forget that who you are is love, then you act in unloving ways. Unloving ways is when you're acting fearful, when you're acting out anxiety, when you're acting pain, sorrow, sadness. When you're acting that out, then you're buying into the belief of lack. So how do we get back to the basics? How do we get back to the basics that says who I am is love and who you are is love? People hurt people hurt people. That's the saying, right? So people who have a need to kill other people are obviously hurting themselves. And as you learn how to manage those emotions of unlove within you, then you also create the love everywhere around you. And it has to begin with you. If you can't do it for yourself, you can't help others. Okay, so everybody get quiet for just a moment. Get into your own column of light and see if you can just quiet your brains and quiet your thoughts. And just take a deep breath up from the earth and down from heaven and sigh out any ill will or angst that may be coming up for you. And in this present moment, that's where you have the possibility of being powerful. So in this present moment, see if you can get yourself to the present moment by using your 5 senses. 5 things that I can see right now. What are they? Oh, I see my flowers. I see the view of Salt Lake City. I see me in the camera. I see my green drink, which now I taste. Thank you, Leslie, for making that for me. 5 things that you can see. 4 things that you can hear right now. I hear my dishwasher. I hear my own voice. Get in the present of using your 5 senses. 4 things, 3 things that you can texture, you can feel with your fingers. What are 3 things that you can feel? 2 things that you can smell. And 1 thing that you can taste. This is called the presencing exercise, and it's very powerful when you notice that your mind is full of chaos and angst. Be aware by your emotional scale where you're at. And then use your 5 senses to bring you in this present moment, which is the only moment ultimately that you can manage how you think and feel. So being aware in this moment is where I have all the power in my life to create. And in this moment, I choose peace. In this moment, I can choose peace. Now take some deep breaths, and if you're having a hard time staying in the present moment, use those 5 senses that we talked about. Disconnect people, unplug, put them in their column of light, put your fingertips together. Those are all really helpful energy modalities that bring you in the present moment. Tongue on the roof of your mouth is connecting your governing and central meridians. Great. I don't know if you guys can feel, but there's an energy, you can feel an energy shift that happens around you as you do this. And then in this moment you say, I choose peace. I can choose to be present. Doing this throughout the day is going to change your vibrational frequency. And noticing when you have ill will thoughts towards another person, when you have angst, when you have fear coming in, all of those thoughts will take you at a lower number. It's okay. It's a human experience. It's what we came to experience. So when you acknowledge that it's okay that your frequency lowers, then it gives you the opportunity to choose up on the scale. What you don't want to do is avoid the duality or the opposition. You don't want to avoid the negative emotion, but notice it, be the observer of it. You're not the emotion, and then release it. And if it's something really big in your life, then come in for a session, or I've got a lot of light workers. My schedule's pretty full right now, but I've got a lot of light workers that are trained to do this and to assist you in moving in the present moment and feeling the peace. So when we can get to the problem of what the real problem is and see that it's a forgetting who we are, it's a forgetfulness of love, it's a forgetfulness of that frequency that we were designed from. And when we can just realign our frequency back to love, then the blocks are released. But understand, every time that you have a negative thought or a negative feeling, it creates a block inside your body, and our goal is to be aware of it, release it, which then brings you back to love. And helping you have the confidence to know that you are capable of bringing yourself back to this love. So the solution is remembering that who you are is love, and that who you are is an extension of God. It brings us all back. So noticing when you're praying, if you pray, when you're praying for the world to heal, for example, but you're feeling the fear and the angst that the world's not healing, then that prayer is actually a stronger prayer for the prayer of healing. So it's whatever your attention on is actually what your prayer is. We're all praying whether we're aware of it or not with our thinking and feeling. Just be aware when you've got those blocks and intentionally release them, and release people from your energy field that might be creating some dense energy. And as an empath, definitely what's happening in the world will affect you. And as an empath, definitely what you're feeling can affect the outside world. So choose into, especially days like today when there's a lot of chaos going on in the world and in the media. Make a list of all the qualities that you recall, or all the things in your life that you do even that bring you back to remembering that you are love. I call these cope aheads. When you can cope ahead by having your go-to list, the things that revitalize me and rejuvenate me are taking a walk outside. You know, it's been raining here and even some snowflakes, so smelling that fresh air helps me. Putting live food and live drinks into your body is really helpful. Essential oils have a higher vibration. This one is called Cheer. It's a new one by doTERRA. I encourage you, if you haven't tried it yet, message me if you'd like to get a bottle. They're 10% off this month. And it's a really great, it's a citrusy smell. So essential oils can help you. I have a whole list of Copaheads that I use. To me, my little babies, my grandbabies, they bring a lot of joy into my world, and just holding them and playing with them, getting down on the floor and playing with them, rejuvenates me. Being with like-minded people, tonight I have book club, and going and being with like-minded people rejuvenates me. Doing my early morning meditation where I can just quiet my mind rejuvenates me. And don't feel like you have to be a pro at meditating. That's not, you know, we get so caught up in I have to do it a certain way. Find the activities that work for you, that raise your vibration, and use those. That's what can bring in the peace when you're feeling chaotic. Now notice when also you're feeling chaotic and a lot of anxiety, that you need to match the coping skill with the level of anxiety. And I might sound repetitive because a lot of this stuff is repetitive, but it's always good to hear it. Being aware of what your SUDS are, which is a subjective unit of distress. Instead of calling it my anxiety, call it the anxiety. It's not yours. Stop owning it. Or my cancer, or my sickness. Stop owning those things. Those are things you are experiencing. They're not who you are, and they don't define you. So the anxiety, let's say, is from 0 to 100%. Let's say that the anxiety is at 80%. So it's just noticing the anxiety is at 80%. At 80%, I need to create some Copahead skills that will work to bring down those SUDS, to bring down the anxiety. What works for you? At 80%, you need to move your body. At 80%, you may need to go and do a lot of cardiovascular, get on the machine. Thanks, Melissa, for joining. And noticing where you're at on the SUDS scale, 0 to 100%, and labeling it at a percentage, that in itself will help lower your SUDS. And then bring your SUDS all the way down. And you can watch in the other videos, I do the tapping brings it down. Hot and cold temperatures bring anxiety down. Going for a run, getting on the elliptical, sweating brings your SUDS down. The hot and cold temperatures, ice pack or hot and cold showers, that will bring it down because it forces your brain out of the stress or the anxiety. Paced breathing, so counting up 8, down 10, up 6, down 7. You know, doing a big out breath and counting, taking your brain off what's making you anxious. And creating Copahead skills that work for you. If you need a list of those, I'm happy to make a list, and I'll post them here, what works. Then as you bring your anxiety down, it allows you to come back to the present moment, use your 5 senses, like I said earlier, to stay in this present moment, doing some deep breathing, and a mantra that says, I can feel the love. I use I am love. If that's too much for your brain to grasp that you are love, then I can feel love, because you have evidence that you can feel love. You've felt love many, many times in your life. Sometimes a visual, I use visualization a lot. Holding, if a puppy makes you happy, then imagine holding your puppy or a newborn baby. Whatever brings in that feeling of love for you to help raise your frequency in that present moment is very beneficial. Okay, so let's review. The problem on the planet cannot be controlled by you. What you get to manage is yourself, how you think and feel. And as you come back to love and peace and looking at your own list of who you are without your pattern, who you are without anxiety, separate yourself from it. Come to this present moment and feel love. Use the techniques that we talked about to bring your SUDS down, to come into the present moment to feel the love. So I want to do, before we finish here, I want to do a little visual, if we can, of just coming to this present moment and everybody getting present like we did earlier. Breathe up from the earth and down from heaven. Open, blend, and balance those energies in your heart center. And on your out breath, just use a sigh to release any anxiety that might be coming up. Disconnect from the media, everybody. In your energy field, disconnect those cords from buying into fear and anxiety. Disconnect from the parts of you that were buying into angst and ill will towards others, and also notice your thoughts and feelings towards the gunman. When you're buying into that, you're adding to that frequency. Mother Teresa said, when asked how come you don't march in an anti-war march, she said, when you have a pro-peace march, let me know, because she didn't want to add her intention or vibration to anti-war, because that creates a stronger hold on war. So when we come into pro-peace, can you feel that? All you guys are doing good, because I can feel a shift taking place. All right, take another deep breath up from the earth, down from heaven. This is the feminine energy coming up, the masculine energy coming down, and swirl it in your heart center. Good job. That's now breathing in the masculine, the feminine, breathing in the earth, breathing down from heaven. Now take a deep breath up from the earth, which is the experience, and down from the spiritual learning about the experience. What did we want to learn from opposition and duality? You wanted to learn how to remember that who you are is love. And put that in your heart centers, and I'll just add putting that in your heart centers. Good job. Okay, are there any questions before we end for today? And I will pull a card. Also, if anybody has any questions. Thanks for joining everyone every Monday, right around noon. Thanks so much, Elaine. I love you. Right around noon, 10 after, somewhere around then, we get on for about 30 minutes. And having your intention with mine helps us to send out healing energy to the planet. So right now we're just going to take a few minutes to finish our imagery of breathing up from the earth, down from heaven. And now send that energy out to the world. Yes, Melissa, I will pull a card for you. Okay, we're just sending out love right now. So with every ounce of your thinking and feeling, bring in that feeling of love. Holding your newborn baby, holding your favorite pet, whatever you need to do to bring in that feeling of love, bring it in right now. And then send it openly, givingly. Thanks, Shannon. I know you bring us back to love as well. Okay, everybody feel that love. And just send it out. We're just going to send it through waves of your town right now. Going out in your neighborhood, in your town, in your community. And see it like a white, beautiful light that's just moving across the planet. And I'm in Utah, so not too far from Las Vegas, about 6 hours. I'm sending it south right now. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is really cool. Thank you. Feel the love moving across the state that you're in, moving down to Nevada. Everybody's sending their attention now to Nevada. And just like a beautiful pink light, white blanket, see it covering the city. Thank you, Haley, for joining. Okay, sending that energy over Las Vegas right now. Put it over the hospitals. Put it over the police force, the FBI. And now shoot it out across from Nevada, Colorado, California, Oregon, Washington, and just keep going across the U.S. Keep sending it with me. Now we're going to send it down south, out of the U.S., down to Mexico, up north, up into Canada. Go east, go west, the Hawaiian Islands, Alaska, Russia, Israel. Keep going. We're moving across the globe now. Do you guys feel how beautiful that feels? Idaho. Yes, thank you, Melissa. All the way across. Into every state, into every country, send that energy. Okay, I'm just gonna keep sending it with your mind's eye. Keep seeing it. And then what happens as it goes through the globe, we are doing a collective consciousness with other individuals who are praying. And we're connecting. It's so beautiful because everybody's hearts connect. And then feel that energy come right back to you and open your hands and receive it. May your life be filled with abundance and blessings and love and a shifting of frequencies this week. And the card that I pulled is communication, which is really beautiful because right now we are communicating. We are communicating through vibrational frequencies, through telepathy, we're communicating through what we're thinking and feeling. And so in this moment, imagine your throat opening up, this area that you have the ability to think, to feel, and to speak loving thoughts. That you have the ability to give generously in your words. So the message that we're going to close with is the tools and the tips that you learned today, use them daily to come back to love, to come back to the frequency of who you truly are. Release the blocks that say you are not love. Communicate in all you're communicating. Make sure they are loving words. Make sure that they are loving, kind, compassionate words. As you pray, as you say your prayers, your meditations, make sure that your focus is on love and not the pain. I love you all. Thanks, Paul, for joining. Namaste.